If you are thinking about buying one of our neon signs, or if you already bought one, this short video will show you what you get and how it will look like after you checked out. So let's start with a fresh C4D scene. First, you navigate to your folder where you downloaded the sign. Inside that folder you will find a couple of files, and in general all the downloads look the same with some minor exceptions. In the text folder you find the 16K scanned concrete albedo and normal map. Additionally, you get a custom LUT that brings a bit more contrast to your scene. In the main folder there is the neon sign as an Alembic file, and another one with the naming gravity, which is just another version of the sign but only hanging vertically, so the cables can hang down. Besides that preview renderings, you find two VDB files that will actually lighten up your sign. And just in case you want different colors, there is one for the inside stroke and one for the outside. On top of that, you find two C4D scenes. One ready to go with Octane and one with Redshift. Let's do the Octane version. You open up the C4D scene and there you find an Alembic container called pointindex Alembic object, where you can put your Alembic file in. Let's do that real quick. One little thing to mention is the object identifier beneath the file path. This is a string that you don't want to change. Since I export all the models from Houdini, that identifier is basically the last node inside Houdini before things gets exported. But basically you don't need to pay that much attention to it, since they come automatically with Alembics. Just don't change that. Underneath the Alembic container there are two VDB files, and you guessed it probably, there come the VDB files in. Let's do that also real quick for the inside and the outside. So basically you're good to go. Let's send the scene to the live viewer and see what we get. One more thing worth mentioning is that the render might be looking a bit different on your machine depending on what version of Octane you are using. In my case, it's the 2021.1.5 release 4. And only one thing is left to do, and that is updating the LUT in our Octane camera tag. So let's do that also real quick. Before we end that short introduction, I want to get a little bit more into detail about the Alembic container. That is coming with some polygon selections for the assigned materials. They are actually all named accordingly, so it shouldn't be that difficult to identify them. Down here you get the materials. We have the concrete one with the textures. Everything should be good in here. The textures are pointing to the text folder, so you don't need to change anything here. Then it goes on with some variations for the glass geometry, if you want it kind of tinted looking, or you just make your own shader. In the object manager, you find also a small selection of pre-made VDB shader. These are just empty VDB container and don't hold any files. If you check the medium section, you see that the emission settings are already tweaked, but feel free to play with the overall settings. The way I use these pre-made VDB shaders is just I just copy them and paste them into my actual container with the correct VDB. And that is basically all you need to know. If you have any questions, please let us know. Thank you very much and goodbye.